God of War 2 is the first game in the series, if you ignore God of War 1, and it's a pretty good game. The fans love it, even the bald YouTubers love it. That's me. It might just be the perfect sequel. When God of War 1 released, it was instantly iconic. Kratos was a bad guy doing undeniably dope shit. The blades were genius. Oh my god, they're so cool. Exploring Greece and putting eyeballs in your pocket, and the cutscenes. I mean, look at this. He's dead! God of War 2 clearly had a lot to live up to. One of the first things you can see improvements on is the story. Kratos is pissed at the gods for ignoring his pleas to unburden him from his terrible past, and the only logical solution is punching buildings. After a few questionable decisions, Kratos takes 2 consecutive ass beatings and then dies. Again. We're like 20 minutes into the game, dude. Wow. For as interesting as God of War 1's plot was, it's almost all backstory on Kratos as you get closer and closer to fighting Ares. Outside of spooky, unexplained god doors and a couple freaky little weirdos,
are you a fucking zombie?
Kratos really only talks to 2 people. Athena via stone statues, and the demonetizer of Athens. God of War 2, on the other hand, has Kratos meeting an insane number of popular figures from ancient Greece. He spends some real quality time hanging out with the hero Perseus. He shows another hero, Theseus, how Greek doors were built for chaos, and even teaches Icarus that you can fly too close to more than just the sun. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Let's go back to the intro. After exploding Ares in the first game, Kratos became the new God of War. And when 2 starts, you're still the God of War. Which means you get to bully these nerds at full god power. The blades are golden. The health and magic bars are 10 feet long. Wow. Kratos even says his famous line. Yeah, buddy, you're the God of War. There's a boss fight and a crazy new weapon with an insane power level. For a brief, glorious moment, you get to play as an even stronger version of the man you leveled up in the first game. And then you die again. But then you crawl out of hell again. The intro is officially over, and now we're back to square one. Little baby bald Spartan. With the bigger budget sequel comes bigger set pieces and the patented Pegasus technology. This is cutting edge shit, man. Look at that horse. They put wings on that horse. You thought Ares was big in 2005? Look at this googly-eyed motherfucker. Man's enormous. Kratos may have lost his godly powers, but the blades remain, though in a slightly weakened form. The good news is the developers kept them virtually unchanged from the first game. If you were giving Minotaurs root canals in God of War 1, you know exactly how to use these. I think a good sequel needs something like that, an anchor to the first game. When the environments are constantly changing, the enemy's skill sets are becoming more and more complex, and shiny new weapons are being introduced to the player, having those blades to always fall back on really makes you think, oh yeah, that's right. Now I know what you're thinking. The blades are the same, Kratos is still bald, the game can't be that different. You're right. And hilarious. It's basically the same, but upgraded. For example, you remember Zeus's Fury from 1? That magic sucked. It was terrible. The damage was awful. The cost made no sense for what it did. Look at Kratos. Don't look away. Look at him. All the magic in the world, and it ain't doing him a damn thing. Well, the first magic you get in 2 is Typhon's Bane, an incredibly similar ability, except it's better in every way. There's no freakishly long wind-up animation, the magic cost is lower, and it just does more damage. Once it's upgraded, this thing fires like a goddamn machine gun. They basically took this ability and said, why are you like this? And then they made it good. Nice job, guys. Another major improvement over the first game becomes apparent at the Steeds of Time. Theseus, the man who left a facial imprint on this door, is actually a whole boss with multiple phases and abilities and, you know, video game shit like that. He's considered to be the second or third boss depending on how much respect you put on this asshole's name. Now, me personally, 0. No respect. Fuck you. When people talk about God of War 1, I never see a lot of discourse about the bosses. Namely, that there are 3 of them total, and they're kind of bad. The Hydra is a decent first boss, but that also means he's pretty basic since you don't have a lot of tools to work with. The little heads are trying their hardest, but boy do they suck. And the big guy can't hurt you if you simply refuse to take damage. The next boss isn't until, I don't know, like 4 hours later. Oh shit. And it's a giant bull with insane hitboxes. What the fuck? This fight is way too long, super repetitive, and very boring. I'm once again refusing to take damage. And don't even get me started on Ares, brother. The last fight in this game was handcrafted by the devil himself. And then when he got to the Kratos clones, he was like, what the fuck? Who made this shit? Me? God of War 2 improved on boss fights in so many ways. Number one, there's just more of them. God of War 2 has 6 more boss fights than the first. Brother, they tripled that shit. The world feels fuller and more dangerous when bosses are just Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying? Number 2, more complex encounters. Each boss has multiple phases where their abilities change, they get stronger, or they jump scare you.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And you have to adapt your strategy or use a different tool in your arsenal to take them down. And number 3, Kratos is an absolute monster when it comes to finding new and interesting ways to end a boss's life. Boss fights are also a natural way to give the player upgrades. In God of War 1, it was almost always a god door jump scare.
Forget something?
Congratulations, buddy, you found me. Here's a power.
2 looked at those god doors and said, pathetic. Like right after we finished quadruple tapping Theseus, we're rewarded with Kronos' Rage. A magic you only use when you want to shock a motherfucker 500 times. Or when we fight an important figure from Kratos' past. Gross horse, and we end up taking his rider's weapon for our own. Much better than Artemis being like, I found this at the bottom of an Olympus dumpster, go fight God. Speaking of weapons, oh my god, does 2 do it so much better. You've got the Barbarian Hammer for big chunky damage. You got the Spear of Destiny for gamers who are much better at this shit than I am. And the Blade of Olympus, which is just the coolest sword I've ever seen. In my opinion, the hammer is the GOAT in this game. The damage this thing can put out once it's fully upgraded could make your mother disown you. It could turn your father into your brother. I don't even know what that means. You also get a little mini army of Hades when you upgrade it, and those ghosts scare the shit out of me. The Barbarian Hammer makes the Blade of Artemis look like a worse Barbarian Hammer. I like the Barbarian Hammer. The Spear of Destiny has a lot of combo potential according to real gamers, but I'm a certified fake gamer, so I don't use this thing, but I've heard it's good, okay? Don't come for me, okay? I'm soft. I can't take it. The blade is really only used at the start and end of the game, but it's equally good against level 1 soldiers and bad fathers. I love the L1 triangle ranged attack. Sending beams from downtown is nasty work, brother. And the lore behind this thing, you know, like I don't know any of it. Type of dude who thinks God of War is based on a true story. But I've heard that it's important somehow, and that's pretty cool. Anyways, my point is, having 4 weapons to choose from is sick. Exploration and puzzle solving were core parts of the first game, and some of those puzzles were impossible.
Puzzle complete.
Kratos' huge Giga Chad brain and his 10-foot vertical both played a key role in navigating Greece. But you know what would help navigate Greece even better? If Kratos was a bird now. Just give him some wings, man, and rip him straight off the canonically dumbest child to ever do it. Being able to float around the world lets the level designers get a little more crazy with it, and it also lets the fight designers add some verticality to the encounters. The same thing can be said for the Golden Fleece, which has to be activated by pressing a button in the stomach of a 3-headed hellhound. That's just Greece, okay? That's how it was back then. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm glazing too hard. This game does have some issues. Playing on Titan mode is crazy because the difficulty curve looks like this. Most of the game is similar in difficulty to 1 until you get to fights like Theseus, or the Translator, Jesus Christ, or even the 7-minute long 5-phase 0 checkpoint Zeus fight at the end. I hope you're locked the fuck in, brother, because this game will whoop your ass. That being said, nothing in this game is even half as crazy as Ares on God mode. Please get that monstrosity off the screen before I act up. Anyways, if God of War 1 is peak, God of War 2 is peaker. Is that a word? Fuck it, it's peaker.